searching, deliberately reaching out to foreign zones for nutrients, yet till date we've not still seen any signs of maturity? Or is it that in one way or the other, directly or indirectly, we've been ill-fed by these very people? Because it's highly unbelievable and terrifying to be fed with the knowledge of being planted by rivers, yet our roots keep searching for water from foreign lands, from foreign zones. Are our rivers dead? To everyone watching me and to everyone here, I want to gladly ask, are our rivers dead? Are the rivers in our own lands dead? Fathers, please answer us. We sincerely want to know if our rivers are truly dead, or is our leaders who reside by the banks of these very rivers who are causing mayhem. Man them. I don't even understand them, but me never pray to wish the fire go burn them. Listen up. Enough respect for them, my youth. But leaders, listen. The youth of today, we are a vital tool, so it really matters how you use this. Because when you use this rightly, it will be a great tool to cause mass correction in our very own land. But when you misuse this, will be a terrible tool to cause mass destruction of our own motherland. That is why today I look forward to a new Africa. A new Africa where MPs won't travel overseas pretending they've not seen the kids in their communities sitting under trees for studies. I look forward to the new Africa where saving for living will be encouraged over saving for burial. I look forward to a new Africa where there will be more of the Akosomo dams and Adomi bridges, the more of the Tema motorways and KNUSTs. I look forward to that very new Africa because Osagyefo, you said that our freedom will be meaningless until it's connected to the total liberation of our African continent. Osagyefo, you again said that revolutions are brought about by men who think as men of action and act as men of thought. Osagyefo, you again added that we must unite now or perish. There's a lot to share. There's a lot to talk about. Osagyefo, before I go on, some few years back and even few months back, just as I usually do, I called on you, Osagyefo. Osagyefo. Oh, Osagyefo. Sorry. Osagyefo. Amansan boafo. Political osofo. Misrewo. Sorry. I keep calling you because your eardrums are still clouded by the irregular, provocative, political, vocal frequencies of our leaders. So whenever we call on to you, we find it difficult to hear us. Osagyefo, few days back, our leaders were packed up in buses and many of us were not happy about it. But Osagyefo, permit me to gladly ask. People who shamelessly go out to borrow, yet they ignore the strings attached to this very thing and the effects on them along the line. Osagyefo, when these lenders gang up to make music out of our pain, what else do we expect to see? Oh, Osagyefo, on this very day is your birthday, but just as the traditional horn gladdens the heart of people than the cry of a baby in this very land, when you were born, many were not present, but when you died, they came in to mourn. Osagyefo, one might say, maybe you were not known back then, you were not famous back then, but the storyline is still the same. Osagyefo, today we ask permission to be at funeral grounds, but no one asks permission to be at a naming ceremony. We're still living in a mess, Osagyefo, but I look forward to that very new Africa. Ogbejeke, we've come far and we'll go far. A new Africa. Thank you.
Africa, thank you. Memwatiamo akwaba ha original television so adwempa dwumedie ena ene wonigu so awuhwe ene ena no pay enim se Ghana afofida kese ni nyina ne se ye mampanyi a odikan Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah na to no Osagyefo efise ono no course oko na say ode okosa eje kubo ne bo na obre eje Ghana man esi ho anope mensaka VT Albert Tetteh or say verbal transformer Albert Tetteh Machi.
Oh, how do I respond?
What tribe are you?
Gadangbe.
Gadangbe Kejeke.
Oh, Mondromnya Yesaminya.
Na me ntembrofo nti ye be ne den.
Okay, so
to make up brofo make a tria.
Itiase.
No, actually,
yes.
Onuoga. Ebe wo ba wiegi.
Oh, you want
to want to papa.
Oh, me too.
Eka. Ghana ne wo etie ntimi nka obia ekasa. Ma mindi kan bisa say ye kan ye nua bema Albert Tetteh. Ono ne ho.
Okay, so Albert Tetteh, I'm a young entrepreneur. I studied engineering and also the founder and CEO of PAL Foundation, the new Africa mentorship program, Verbal Transformers, and the national core subject quiz for junior high school. So basically, I do more of charitable exploits, more of entrepreneurial works. Looking forward to better the lives of many in this society because we want to change the negative African narrative. So I'm a young generational thinker who wants to change the negativities, but I don't want to do it alone. We want to build a united front of younger people to cause that kind of change we want to see. So basically, I'm an engineer and a philanthropist, an entrepreneur.
Now, obi bega say engineer no wa sorry no wo sorry a wo dey Osagyefo na engineer no no wo dey si hi e na wafa anwinsem awoyi.
Engineering no policy engineering, it's not on hold. Yeah, engineering is, and then basically, say life is about engineering.
Yeah.
Engineering is science, and science is an art. So if we're talking about engineering, I chose to engineer lives alongside engineering machines. And see, that's poetry.
Yeah,
poetry is actually the basics of our communication, because everyone is a writer, as I mentioned. Our school, our classroom, we were told the first thing we got to do in English is when we saw that teachers saw that we've matured to a point, is to write myself. It makes you a writer.
Yeah.
You wrote a letter to your uncle you never even knew about. You wrote about your family and all that. So it's the basics of life. Music now is all about poetic connections and all. So it's very necessary. So I encourage everyone to actually take this literary aspect of their lives seriously, because poetry is actually a great tool to cause significant changes. We can speak to power, we can speak to heal people, we can write to help people. So it is a powerful tool. So in as much as I am an engineer, but I am very passionate about creative art as well. So I'm engineering lives and I'm engineering machines.
Na ene mami misa wo se de wo no wabo modern wahua mfidi dwuma ho wo engineer mfidie na wo engineer nipa abrabo yemra Ghana yemai wo ne say.
Well, now I can say we live in a total mess.
Hey,
yes, because compared to say near Osagyefo, which is benefiting us 60 years on. And today we can find our leaders constructing roads. Roads now. Just 2-3 months, now the roads will be in a very bad state. But he constructed roads that took us 60 years ahead. Namsu. We have the Akosumo Dam, which is still our vital and most significant source of hydropower. We still have the Adomi Bridge, which is also a very significant connecting path from Juapon to the other people. So we can talk about so many things Osagyefo did. Just like we mentioned in one district, one factory and all that. It was long back in the days. Though long ago. So we have these things that we can actually acknowledge and put politics aside. When we critically think, we can revive these things. So compared to what he did back then 60 plus years ago and what we're seeing now, it is just a change of things. That technology has resurfaced and phones are now in a higher standard and all that. But have we as human beings advanced? Have we changed in our thinking capacity? What have we actually done now that 60 years to come, we will not be talking about that of Osagyefo, or we'll be talking about our current leaders?
Say ye bepe si ye beka ene empempren ya kendi fo ho asem a wo no wafa anwensem a wo nwene nsem edi koi ekwan ben so na wo so wo fa edi kan edi anwensem no asesa ya kendi fo wo di anwensem no ema omei edu amanone ananse yenso no ekwa amama edwa so a enam anwensem so yebetimi ate yenka na yehu de yewo.
So anwensem no say unim say like the word of God, it is powerful, and words in its actual state, words are powerful. So when they are spoken and they are rightly communicated, it restructures the thought processes.
Okay.
And say you communicate the right kind of words to our people, which is like having quality education being sent forth. It will restructure their mindset to align with the kind of new Ghana and the new Africa we want to see. And to say can't we will not just be rhyming, we will not just be talking about things that will not matter, things that will just excite people, like how we talk about maybe when you talk about sex now, it excites younger people. When you talk about love now in a negative sense, it excites people, broken heart and all that, playing games. But when you talk about critical things like this to change the narrative, it really goes a long way to change their perceptions, to know that no, we have to sit down as younger people, we can do it. In our country here, we sit down and we watch younger people in the Western world doing exceptional works. And we just be clapping with our parents, oh wow, wow, wow. Meanwhile, the younger people here, what are we doing? We can also be creators, not always leveraging on what the Westerners have done. But we need to also humble ourselves to learn from them. When we learn together, we can make things happen. And to say, it is to make impact in the long term, just as the preachers preach in the churches. It is to help you because the Bible talks about faith. Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing only by the word of God. It is the same way. When we hear good things, it saturates our spirit. It gains ascendancy, and it changes our perception about life.
When the betimi assistant said the ECJ efa brabo ho na ene ye Kwame Nkrumah woda. Enti me pese wo san ya nwensem baako. Ai no Kwame Nkrumah baby owo bi ebetimi amana so.
All right, so it's the same old stories when we sit as young people, the same old stories we keep telling. Because way back, we had our forefathers sitting under the great baobab tree, the great iroko tree, or whatsoever tree you want to name it, sipping cold palm wine that sets coldness down the spine, brooding over the negativities of the land with no inspiration of making mind-blowing preparation for us, the younger generation, even if they had no determination to cause changes in their time. It really disturbs me as a young African, you know, because it's the same old. You see, despite all we've got, we still despise the despite of our land and travel to foreign lands to get deals done as though we never had any mark done in our own land. But before we do that, permit me to gladly ask, haven't you heard of the Dellas or Teddehs and Dangotes who can borrow us millions of dollars in multiple phases that we can change significant things in this very nation of our own, in this very continent of our own? It is highly unbelievable and once again terrifying. To be fed with the knowledge of being planted by rivers, yet our roots keep searching for water from afar. As I tell you, it is terrible now, but as young people, we look forward to that very new Africa, where there will be a united front of younger people who will think in a different sense. Oh, Osagyefo. We've been mourning for years, but for how long will we keep mourning? Because for only God knows how long we've been weeping. For our pains keep heaping. Teachers keep misleading, politicians keep politicking, but for how long would we keep heading in this very direction that we are not healing? Where are we not arriving at our own critical solutions? We are living in a mess, Osagyefo. On this very day is your birthday. Osagyefo, you did a lot for us. So as we stand today, even though I didn't live in your time, I can see for myself. Your works are evident. So we look forward to that very new Ghana, we look forward to that very new Africa where younger people like us will cause significant changes and will not be despised by the older people. We ask that they inspire us. They shouldn't despise us. They should inspire us. They shouldn't despise us because we are vital to it. Osagyefo, wherever you are, your son will always make you proud. Osagyefo, we've come far, we'll go far.
Aye, Osagyefo, we've come far, but we'll go far. But your message or the number better quickly. Na me ko twa me ho. Afide ya.
Okay, so you can get in touch with us on all social media platforms, Verbal Transformers, and 026-506-8758, 026-506-8758. You can get in touch with us, and we want to build a united front of younger people. I don't want to be doing this alone. I have people who are part of Verbal Transformers who are also working behind the scenes. We want you to join. We want to have a united front of younger people. Join us, and let's make Ghana proud. Let's make our Osagyefo proud. Thank you, and God bless you. Original TV, original forever.
Yeah, that's it. Now, Sabre, ye be try a home aba ye near Albert and Tetteh and ye no a tree and common. Ye try a home.